What a morning we've had here in England. Oh my goodness, we've had rain, heavy rain in fact. We've had thunder, lightning, all sorts of dramatic noises rumbling across the sky here in England. And yes, we are live right now across the internet. Hello, internet. Welcome. This is English Addict Live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be England. Dibby 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 doo doo doo. Dibby dibby doo 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 doo. It is so nice to have you here again on the live stream. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you really happy? I hope so, because we are here together again. Yes, my name is Duncan. I teach English. I talk about the English language here on YouTube, and I've been doing this for ever such a long time. Can you guess how long? Well, almost as long as YouTube has existed. Wow, we are going back to the early days of YouTube when everything was in black and white. It was like watching an old silent movie from the 1920s, early YouTube. Oh dear me. Do you remember YouTube in its early days? It was so strange. The technology was much more basic. Because nowadays we have everything. We have high definition. We have live streaming like this. I can actually stand in my studio here in England and talk to you live. Isn't it incredible? Also, you can have captions as well. If you just press that on your keyboard, guess what? You can have captions live. It's incredible. I must be honest with you, I love technology so much. I get so excited by technology. Another thing I want to mention as well, if you want to give me a like, so there it is, the like button. You can give me a big thumbs up. Underneath this video there is a thumb, and you can give me a lovely thumbs up. So I think today we should start by having at least 100 likes. Can we have 100 likes? Is it possible? So give me a nice thumbs up right now, and I will be reminding you a little bit later on to do the same thing again. And if you like what you see, of course, you can also subscribe as well. There it is. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. There are many people who say, Mr. Duncan, we are a little bit angry because we can't see your live stream. We are not notified. My advice, if you want my advice, I will give it to you now free of charge. My advice is make sure that your notifications are turned on. Because if they are not, you will not be notified. You will not receive a notification of my live stream. So I hope that helps you there. We have a very strange day here in the UK. This morning, oh my goodness, this morning, I can't begin to tell you how bad the weather was this morning. Would you like to have a taste? So here is a short video clip that I filmed this morning. I must warn you, there are some loud bangs as the thunder rolls across the sky. So listen to this, have a look. This is the view that greeted me this morning when I opened my window, and then I went into the back garden and the rain was coming down quite a lot. Oh my goodness. It's pouring with rain, and in a moment you will see a flash of lightning. Look out for the lightning any second now. Pretty dramatic. The great clouds overhead, and in a moment there will be another clap of thunder. Brace yourselves. It is on its way. Any moment now. Oh, there it was. I talked all over the lightning and thunder. Shall we do that again? Here it comes. So there it was. This morning we had a huge storm hit the UK, including here where I live. And that is what greeted me this morning. That is what greeted me this morning when I woke up in my bed. I heard a loud banging noise. I suppose it makes a change from my neighbour's cockerel. I suppose it does, when you think about it. So what about you? How's the weather today across Europe? There are many storms taking place. It's been quite stormy. Talking of which, oh, Mr. Duncan, you can see that I don't just wake up in the morning and throw this lesson together. I actually put a lot of thought and consideration into this lesson. So today we are going to talk about storm idioms. Oh, Mr. Duncan, I saw what you did there. So we are going to talk about idioms connected with storms. Think about any type of bad weather, and there are many idioms that you can actually use that relate to bad weather. So that is something we are looking at a little bit later on. We are also going to ask a question as well. Would you say that you are a patient person? Now, I've noticed over the past few days here in the UK, especially since the weather has got better, a lot of people have become quite irritable because they want to go outside and enjoy the hot weather. However, some people have decided to stay in the house. They have decided to stay patient. What about you? Would you describe yourself as a patient person or an impatient person? So they are actually opposites. We will look at some words connected with being both patient and impatient later on the live stream. Don't forget, you can catch me here every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. UK time. And yes, I am back on Sunday as well. Steve will be here, Mr. Steve. Oh, by the way, we had a lovely little moment of time yesterday evening. One of our friends, who we haven't seen for a long time, since way back in maybe January, before the lockdown began. So we haven't seen him for a while. So he came round last night and we had a lovely Chinese meal in the garden. The weather was quite nice. So we sat outside, had a chat. Of course, we also kept our safe distance as well. And yes, it was pretty nice. It was really nice to catch up with one of our friends who came round and gave us a lovely surprise. yesterday evening, and it was a very nice night. In fact, a very nice meal. We even had a bottle of beer. Mr. Duncan, we can't believe that you had some beer last night. I did, as a sort of celebration, I suppose, seeing one of our friends again after such a long time. But we did have some beer last night. Not too much. I didn't get drunk, so don't worry. I didn't consume too much beer. I know some of you might think, Mr. Duncan, we think sometimes you might get drunk at night. Well, I can tell you now that I don't. I don't at all. A little bit later on, we also have some strange words. Because we do that, you see. Do you know why we do that? Because today, it's Friday. I hope you enjoyed that. It is Friday, yes. We have made it. We have made it almost to the end of the week. And it's been a very busy week here in the UK. A lot of people getting excited. A lot of people getting very adventurous because the weather is nice. And many people have been going to the beaches, the coastal resorts, especially on the south coast. Over the last couple of days. You may have seen it on the news. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Oh, we also have the live chat. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here today. I wonder who was first. Hello to Palmyra. Hello to Mary. Yasia. Also Aboranad and Mosen. Tamara, nice to see you as well. Maria, ooh, hello Maria. Also Palmyra, again. Mustafa, Luis Mendez. Oh, Luis Mendez is here today. Maria Giovanni La Rosa is here as well. Angel Girl, congratulations. Nice to see you all here early on the live stream. I must admit, I did enjoy the live stream that I did on Wednesday in the garden. It was so nice to be outside again. However, today, unfortunately, we are not outside because the weather cannot decide what to do. We've had rain, we've had thunder, we've had lightning, we've had everything. And now, can you believe it? We've got some sunshine outside. So I wish the weather would make up its mind as to what it is going to do today. I wish it would. Hello also Sunshine Beatriz. Hello Pedro. Oh, Pedro Belmont is here today. Also we have Wafe. I always try to say hello to as many people as possible. If I don't, please don't shout at me. Please don't say, Here, Mr. Duncan, why don't you ever say hello to me? Ugh. Now, the reason why sometimes I don't say hello to maybe you is because I don't see your name on the live chat because it moves very quickly. I am so glad that we have cleared that up. Hello also, Tuan Yuin. Mr. Duncan, where is your shirt and tie? Can I just say, now I don't like to talk about my boring studio, but today, unfortunately, my boring studio is very hot because there are many lights shining on my face, trying their best to erase all of the lines, all of the wrinkles that have developed and appeared during my long, stressful life. And it's really hot in here. It's hot outside, it's humid, it's sticky. It feels like I'm in the tropics, to be honest. So welcome to a very tropical England today. It feels very tropical. Lots of humidity, lots of rain means it feels as if I am now in Malaysia. And I have been to Malaysia, and it does feel like this. Even in my studio, it feels like I am out somewhere in the Malaysian jungle. It really does. Hello also, Angel Girl, watching in Turkey. Nice to see you here today. Also, Anna Rita, Beatriz, and Anna Portillo. Nice to see you as well. Belarusia is here as well. Thank you very much. Lots of lovely regular viewers. Also some new viewers as well. If it is your first time here, say, Mr. Duncan, it's my first time here. Oh, I see. Apparently, Belarusia has the chicken in the oven at the moment. And now I have some time to watch this live stream. I've been up since 5 o'clock and at 11:30 he wants to have his lunch. Oh, maybe you mean your father. Can I say hello to your dad as well, Belarusia? Very nice. Roxy is here. Roxy, I don't say where, Mr. Duncan, if you don't mention me. Well, you don't have to because I have just mentioned you. Roxy, it's so nice to see you here on the live stream. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Zora, nice to see you here as well. I have to say a special thank you. Can I say a big special thank you to... I will put it on the screen now. Here comes the name on the screen, if I can get it onto the screen, of course. Come on, Mr. Duncan, hurry up. We haven't got all day. Can I say a big thank you to Palmira Bastita Gutierrez for your kind donation that I received just before I started today's live stream. So literally 3 minutes before I started my live stream, I received a very nice donation, a very kind donation from Palmira Batista Gutierrez. I hope I pronounce your name right as well. So if you want to make a donation, you can on PayPal. You are more than welcome to do so. Thank you very much once again to Palmira. Very kind of you. Very kind. I think that deserves a round of applause. I think so. Thank you very much to Palmira for your lovely donation. Karim is here. Hello, Karim. I haven't forgotten you. There you are. I can see you see, because I'm using my eyes. I'm looking at the live chat right now. There are many words, there are many idioms that we can use. Did you know that? Did you know that? There are many idioms we can use relating to storms. Violent storms. Something that is dramatic. A certain type of weather situation that appears dramatic. Something that might cause harm or damage. Storm. Of course, there are many ways of using the word storm and also many different types of weather condition as well. Would you like to see some? Okay, here's one now. Oh, so we might say storm in a teacup. There is a storm in a teacup. If we say that a situation is a storm in a teacup, it means that there is a small problem that has been made big or overblown. So a person has exaggerated or overreacted to a very small incident. So they turn the small incident into something big and dramatic. You might describe it as a storm in a teacup. Quite often here on YouTube, people will start arguing and fighting over very small things. I think maybe sometimes it is human nature. What do you think? Do you think it is human nature to sometimes have a storm in a teacup? You might overreact to a very small event. Don't worry about my neighbours. They're always arguing. Normally, it is just a storm in a teacup. It is something that appears dramatic, but in fact, it is all over nothing. Nothing at all. Here's another one. Would you like another one? Okay, then. Here's another one. Oh, to kick up a storm. If you kick up a storm, it means you create a lot of panic or maybe uproar. You are kicking up a storm. You are doing something in a dramatic way. You kick up a storm. So we often use this as a verb, a person who is kicking up a storm. Maybe they are creating something that will draw other people's attention. You kick up a storm. You do something that gets attention. You do something maybe that will mean lots of people will see you. You kick up a storm. You create a fuss. You do something that gets lots of attention. You kick up a storm. Sometimes maybe you overreact to something as well. Kick up a storm. Storm idioms. What is a storm idiom? Well, storm is a type of weather condition, and an idiom is any word that can be used other than the word or the meaning that it has. So yes, you can use certain words in English to mean other things, and when we do that, we call it an idiom. I hope that answers your question. Would you like another one? Here's another one. Save something for a rainy day. Well, we had a rainy morning here in the UK. Save something for a rainy day means you are saving something for when you need it. Quite often we will save money for a rainy day. We will keep some money back. We will keep it safe. So you save some money in case you need it. You may have some emergency. Perhaps you have to spend some money repairing your house suddenly. So you have some money that you keep safe in case you need it. In case you need it for a rainy day. So when things go wrong, you will have some money. Very good. Oh, I see. Connell says there is a very similar idiom to storm in a teacup, which is to make an elephant from an ant. I like that one. Yes, that's a good one. So you are creating a big fuss over nothing. Nothing. You are creating a huge fuss over a very small thing. Another one we can use is to make a mountain out of a molehill. I like that one as well. So if you make a mountain out of a molehill, it means you are creating a fuss over nothing. You are creating a storm. And the word storm, of course, can mean maybe anger or a very fierce argument. So if people argue over something, if people are fighting over a certain subject that they are discussing, we can describe that as a storm. People are behaving in an angry way. Here's another one now. We'll have another one if I can find it. Oh, I like this one. This is a good one. Lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle. When we say lightning in a bottle, we are talking about something that is very rare, something that only occurs now and again. A certain situation, or maybe a person who has a certain talent that no one else has. It is lightning in a bottle. And the reason why we have this is because something that is random or something that can't be predicted, we often describe it as lightning in a bottle. Something rare, something that doesn't occur very often in this world. We can describe it as an idiom, lightning in a bottle. Finding the perfect singer or actor or performer is like trying to keep lightning in a bottle. You are trying to find something that only happens or only occurs very rarely. Very rare. It rarely happens. Hard to find. Hard to find. Something that is random. Something that is rare. Something that cannot be predicted is lightning in a bottle. I like that one. I don't know why. It's sort of poetic when you think about it. Here is another word. So this is actually a word. It is also an idiom that we can use. Storm idioms. Brainstorm. Brainstorm. To try and come up with new ideas. If you are thinking hard about something, maybe a group of people have to get together and they have to create something new. Maybe they work for an advertising agency, so they have to come up with some new ideas. They have to come up with something that will be new and exciting. So people will sit down together and they will brainstorm. Brainstorm. You think hard about something that you want to create or something new that you want to create and bring into the world. Isn't that nice? Brainstorm. You might also have a brainstorm, which means that you come up with a good idea. Here's another one. Oh, I like this one. Thunderous. You can describe something that is noisy, loud, maybe something that is done that you can hear. However, it is done in a very enthusiastic way. Thunderous. Noisy. Something that is enthusiastic in the way it is done. So you might say that there were thunderous applause when Mr. Duncan appeared. For me? Really? Oh, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Thunderous applause. I like that one. I like it a lot. So something that's thunderous is something that can be clearly heard. Something that is done in a very excited way. Loud. Enthusiastic. Wow. Thank you very much for that thunderous applause. Wonderful. Nice. Here's another one. Oh, now I don't want to be too depressing today because there is a lot of bad news around at the moment in the world. You may have noticed. There are dark clouds ahead. So maybe a situation, a serious situation that is coming our way. Maybe there is a situation that is approaching, something bad, something that might cause problems or harm. There are dark clouds ahead. You might also say there are dark clouds on the horizon, which means that something bad is coming your way. Something that might cause damage or harm is approaching. There are dark clouds ahead. I suppose also you can say dark days as well. There are dark days approaching. A lot of people are saying at the moment there will be some dark days coming soon when you know what reappears. Yes, especially here in the UK. Would you like to say, Mr. Duncan, we like what you're doing. Give me a like underneath. All you have to do is click the big thumb, the one that points upwards. That's nice. There are dark clouds ahead. Maybe something bad will happen soon. Something that is approaching. Something that might happen soon. An event, situation, something serious. It might happen soon. There are dark clouds approaching. Ooh. Oh, here's a nice one. So now we have a nice one. The previous one was horrible. Ugh. But this one is quite nice. To shower someone with compliments, gifts, or praise. You shower someone. Isn't that nice? So when we talk about showers in the situation concerning weather, we mean heavy rain. But the rain only lasts for a few seconds or maybe for a few minutes. So a short burst of rain can be described as a shower. So you might shower someone with compliments, gifts, or maybe praise. So this means that you are giving, or maybe many people are giving, a certain thing to you. You might be showered with gifts on your birthday. So many people send you a beautiful present or maybe a birthday card. Perhaps you receive many birthday cards through your door on your birthday. You might say that you are or you have been showered with lovely birthday cards. To get something in a very large amount, quite often from many people around you. So you get many things. You maybe you get lots of compliments. Oh, you look very nice today. Oh, I like your new dress. Well, I have to say that hat really suits you. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, you are all showering me with compliments. And of course, praise. You can say nice things about a person. Maybe the thing they are doing. You can give some nice, joyful compliments. I like your English lessons, Mr. Duncan. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. It's very kind of you. That sort of thing. Here's another one. I think this will be the last one for now. Here is another storm idiom. Oh, a stormy situation. Stormy. So as I said at the beginning of this section, stormy or a storm can be an angry situation, something that is happening that is maybe causing lots of problems. Maybe people are arguing over politics. Maybe one person has said something that another person doesn't agree with. There will be a storm. So a stormy situation is any situation where negative things are occurring. Maybe a stormy relationship. Maybe a stormy love affair. Maybe, perhaps a stormy conversation. People are arguing about something, fighting. So there are many ways of using the word stormy if we are describing an occurrence or something that is actually happening. Hello to the live chat. It's lovely to see you today. We had a big storm this morning. It really was quite a big storm. Roxy says, in certain states they celebrate with baby showers. Yes, I did actually mention this last Sunday because we were talking about pregnancy and being pregnant. And we did talk about baby showers. So yes, a lot of people, when they have a baby that hasn't been born, it is still on the way, they might have a baby shower. They will buy lots of gifts for the parents before the baby arrives. You have a baby. baby shower. Isn't that nice? Hello, Imo. Hello, Imo. I wish I could speak English like you. Well, I have practiced my English for many years. I have tried my best to speak English as well as I possibly can. And guess what? You can do the same thing as well. Isn't it amazing? All you need is some patience, time, and, yes, motivation. Some people like to learn English on their own. Some people like to learn English with many others. So that is the reason why we are here today, to share our love of English. As a way of expressing that desire, I'm now going to show you an excerpt from one of my lessons. Here is a lesson that I did. I think I made this around about maybe 10 years ago. So this lesson you are about to see is around 10 years old. However, everything in it is still modern and contemporary. So don't worry about that. This particular lesson is all about making decisions. And as far as I'm concerned, I think making a decision can be one of the hardest things that you ever have to do in your life. So here I am once again at my computer with another English lesson to prepare. Which subject should I talk about this time? There are so many choices, so many things to choose from. It's really hard to decide. Wait a minute, I've got it. Oh yes, that's a good subject. Okay, let's get to work. The choices you make today and tomorrow will decide life's journey on the path you will follow. The choices you make, like the throw of the dice, will decide if your journey is unpleasant or nice. The word choice has more than one meaning. It is normally used as a noun. Choice can relate to what is on offer, a selection of things offered or made available to you. You can select something from that choice. You choose or select from the choice. The word choice can also define what you have chosen, the choice you have made. The thing you have chosen is your choice. That is the thing you have chosen. A choice can be made from a selection or variety of actual items, or from a list of possible actions. The word choice can also be an adjective. In this sense, it means something of high or superior quality. A choice cut of meat means that the meat is of good quality. The word decision relates to the final choice or result of deciding something. The decision can be about anything. The result of your choice is the decision. We can also use decision when talking about the outcome of a trial. In law, the decision is referred to as the verdict. In law, all decisions, choices, and actions made are the responsibility of the person who made them. If you are of sound mind, then you will have to accept the punishment that fits the crime. The conclusion of any choice is seen as a decision. Of course, if you cannot make a choice or decision, then we say that you are undecided. You are unsure of what to choose. Sometimes making a decision can be a very confusing thing indeed. There are many ways of expressing a decision or making a choice. You take your pick. You come to a decision. You reach a conclusion. You give your verdict. You make a choice. You pick one out. You make a selection. A choice can be described as a selection or a variety. You pick from a selection or choose from a variety. So, choice can be what is on offer or the thing you select. The past tense of choose is chose, and the item you choose has been chosen. When deciding something, you reach a decision, or you come to a decision. You have made a decision. You have decided. There are so many choices and decisions to be made in life. However, there is one choice that you never have to make, unless of course you decide to change it later. Yes, of course, I'm talking about your name. The first choice in your life is made by someone else. Duncan is the name chosen for me by my parents. I had no say in the matter. The decision was made for me. I like my name, especially when I found out that the name Duncan originated in Scotland and means brave warrior. Of course, in the Shakespeare play Macbeth, the character King Duncan is killed by the scheming Macbeth. I had better watch my back. Oh, it's so hot in here. It feels like my eyes are frying in their sockets. It's so hot in here. Please, someone, open a window. Oh, wait there. I have opened the windows. It's so hot in here. I can't believe how hot it is in my studio. I hope you are feeling comfortable and cool where you are. It is English Addict, and yes, I am Mr. Duncan. That is my name. Use your own if you don't mind. And I teach English on YouTube. Hello to everyone. If you want to send me a like, once again, I will say it again, you can like and also subscribe if you want. Beep, 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 beep. They've gone now. Give me a lovely thumbs up. Give me a lovely thumb. And also, if you want, you can also share to let me and everyone know that you care. Give me a thumbs up right now. I want at least 300 thumbs. 300 likes before the end of today's live stream. Hello to Anna. Hello also Unicorina. Oh, hello Unicorina. Nice to see you here today. I haven't seen you for a while. I feel as if you haven't been here on my live chat for a while. I don't know why. I don't know why. Hello, Belarusia. It was a hard decision to study dentistry. Yes, I would imagine any subject, especially now I'm not going to judge anyone, but a person who decides to study scientific, something medical perhaps, maybe a subject similar to that. I think you have to have a lot of motivation because it takes many years to become good and knowledgeable in those particular fields. I suppose being a doctor, I admire doctors. I really do. Especially at the moment, a lot of people have been talking about their admiration, expressing how grateful they are that there are so many doctors and nurses around taking care of everyone. Normally, this happens, of course, but to be a doctor takes around 7 years. So that is a lot of intensive studying, learning, attending many lectures over the years. Then you have to go into training, so you will actually work in a place, maybe a hospital, or you will follow another doctor around, and then you will learn from them. You know, like that guy in Scrubs. Remember him? Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to the guy from Scrubs? You never hear from him anymore. I used to like watching Scrubs. That used to be my favourite TV show, that did. Scrubs. Many years ago. Zach, what's his name? I want to say Zach Branner, but that doesn't sound right. I think his name was Zach Branner. You know, the guy that played the doctor who was learning how to become a doctor in Scrubs. I'm sure it was Zach. Or Zach Brannigan. No, I don't think it was Zach Brannigan. No, I think that was a character from Futurama. Mr. Duncan, I think your brain might be frying in your skull today. I think so. Hello, JC Geordie. I apologise, of course. Thumbs up, not thump. There is a big difference between thump and thumb. Well, first of all, the spelling is very different. Thumb, thump. So, thump, thumb. They are spelt very differently. Hello, Jade. Mr. Duncan, I like the hens with the chicks. Oh, is there anything cuter? Anything in this world more cute than a little baby chicken with their little... Isn't that lovely? I love the sounds of chicks when they are all... I like it a lot. Hello, Helena. Hello, also Andy Starr. I never visit the doctor. Really? Is that because you are a very healthy person, maybe? And if you are, what is your secret? Can you share your secret with us? Would you describe yourself as a patient person? In a couple of moments, we are going to talk all about that. Are you a patient person? Would you describe yourself as someone who is patient? Oh, you are great. You really are great. Zach Braff. Okay, I was nearly right. Almost right. I was nearly right. I almost got it right. Zach Braff. Whatever happened to Zach Braff? He was like the biggest star on television in Scrubs, and then he sort of vanished. Has anyone seen Zach Braff recently? I haven't seen him in anything. But I really liked him. He had a sort of cheeky character. He was cheeky, wasn't he? A little cheeky. He would always say naughty things, especially to Dr. Cox. He didn't like Dr. Cox at all. Dr. Cox. He was a bit mean, wasn't he? I didn't like Dr. Cox, no. I wasn't a big fan of Dr. Cox. But I did like Zach Braff in Scrubs. He was good. He was really, really good. Hello. What? Hello, Huen Duc, who says, I come from Vietnam. Hello, Vietnam. Nice to see you here today. Mr. Agarwal. Hello, Mr. Agarwal. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Could you please tell me the meaning of devious? Is a devious person a negative person or just a person who is not straightforward? A person who is devious, well, maybe there are many ways of using this word. To be devious. To be devious is to be secretive. So maybe you keep things hidden away, something you don't want other people to know about. Maybe you have a skeleton in the closet. You see? So a devious person might also be a person who wants to trick you into thinking something that is not real. So a devious person, the word devious can describe a person who hides things away, or maybe they say things, or maybe they do things to try and get you to change your mind or to believe something that is not true. So yes, a devious person. Normally it is negative. I've never heard anyone say that a devious person is a good thing to be, to be honest with you. So I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, you're a devious person. Well done. Good." So yes, it is normally done as a negative action, or it is seen as being negative. I hope that answers your question very nicely. Devious. I have met some very devious people over the years. Here we go then. Would you say that you are a patient person? There are some words that we can use to describe a person who is patient. Now, of course, don't forget the word patient can also mean a person who is being treated in hospital for an illness or an injury. So don't forget, we can use the word patient. There it is up there. Beep, 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 beep. We can use it in more than one way. More than one way. So let's have a look, shall we? There are some words that we can use to describe being patient. Well, first of all, a patient person is often described as being tolerant and understanding. So a patient person. Do you know someone who is patient? What about you? Maybe you are a patient person. Maybe you are someone who would describe themselves as tolerant and understanding. Yes, I would say that I am a tolerant, understanding person. I am a very patient person. In a stressful situation or a difficult situation, a patient person will remain calm and unruffled. Ooh, that's an interesting word, unruffled. So if you are unruffled, it means you stay calm. You are not upset by a certain situation. So a person who is patient in a stressful or difficult situation, a patient person will remain calm and unruffled. Whatever happens around them, however chaotic the situation is, they will stay patient. Nice. I think I'm a patient person. I really do. A patient person is patient as an adjective. They show patience as a noun. That person does something patiently as an adverb. So the patient person has patience. That person does something patiently. One of the things I don't like doing, now I think I am a patient person. I really do. I think I am quite patient. However, one of the things I don't like doing is waiting for things. I think sometimes I am a little impatient, the opposite, which we will be looking at very shortly. We are going to look at the opposite of patient. But sometimes when I'm standing maybe outside a shop, I'm waiting to be served, or maybe I've ordered something off the internet and then I buy it on the internet and then I have to wait for it to be delivered. Sometimes I can be a little impatient, but as they always say, good things come to those who wait. If you wait patiently, if you are a patient person, then you will enjoy that nice thing even more than you would normally. Yes, waiting around is like losing time or wasting time. And there is one thing I don't like doing. I don't like wasting time. I really don't. There is a nice expression in English. Patience is a virtue. So we often see people who are patient as good people, understanding people. They are tolerant. They never get upset. They never become anxious or angry about things. So maybe they are standing in a room where there is lots of chaos. People are arguing. There is lots of disruption. Things are going wrong. However, you stand there. It'll be all right. Don't worry, everyone. I'm sure we will find a solution to this problem. I'm sure we will find a problem that can be solved. And if you have a problem, quite often, if you wait, if you are patient, yes, eventually you will solve the problem. You will solve the problem. Sometimes it is good to be patient. That is the reason why we often say patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. It is a good thing to be. We also have the root of patient. So where does the word come from? The root of patient comes from the Latin word for suffering. In fact, I think it's Sophia or suffer. So the actual origin of the word is suffering, which is interesting because a patient person is a person who is not suffering. They are staying calm. It's interesting that. I like that. I sometimes like finding out where words come from or how they have developed over the years. So there you go. The root, the origin of patient comes from the Latin word for suffering. I hope you are not suffering at the moment. I really do. She has the patience of a saint. A patient person might be described as a saint, a person who always stays calm. They never become angry. They always keep their cool. No matter what is happening around them, they have the patience of a saint. So she, or of course he, has the patience of a saint. I think I'm a patient person. I do. I think I have a lot of patience. I remember a few years ago, and I was going over to where Mr. Steve's mother lives. And I had to bring her back on the train because Steve was busy. He was working. So Steve couldn't go over to collect his mother and bring her here because she was coming here to stay with us. So what happened is I went over to where Steve's mum lives and I collected her and I brought her back on the train. However, we had to catch 3 trains. Sometimes we had to walk a long distance from one train to another. And sometimes we had to go to a different station completely. But I was always calm. I stayed cool. I stayed patient. And even Mr. Steve's mother said, "Wow, Duncan, there is one thing I've noticed about you. You were always so patient. You never got upset. You never became angry about anything, even though we had to rush around and even though I had to take care of Mr. Steve's mother whilst we were wandering around the railway station." And it was crowded. I do remember that. There were many people getting on and off the trains. So I had to take care of Mr. Steve's mum. I had to treat her like a delicate, fragile flower. And that's what I did. So yes, I like to think that I am a patient person. However, what about you? Would you say that you are patient? Would you say that you are a patient person? Now, I think that as you get older, I think we become more impatient. Impatient. So there are some ways of describing impatience. You might not have time to cope with a situation. You might not enjoy doing something. You are impatient. Impatient. So an impatient person has no patience. They have no patience. patient, impatient. Hello, sunshine. Maybe old people are more patient than young people. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to be honest with you. I often think that elderly people sometimes can be more impatient. However, I think children can be very impatient. They always want everything straight away. They don't want to wait. Mummy, 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 I want that new toy. I want it now. I don't want to wait. I want it now. You must go to the shops now, mummy, and you must buy that toy for me now. I want it now. A bit like Veruca Salt. Veruca Salt from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. She wanted everything straight away. I want a pony, and I want it now. I don't want to wait for it. Hello to Aldo. Hello, Aldo. Nice to see you back as well. Nice to see you back. Luis Mendez is here as well. Tuan Nguyen says, to be honest with you, Mr. Duncan, I am a patient person. Yes, I think so. I think it is good to be patient. Sometimes people might not understand your point of view, or maybe they don't understand that you are a busy person. So sometimes people do things, but they don't mean to do it. They don't intend to waste your time or make you angry. So I think sometimes it is a good thing to be patient, to keep your cool, to stay patient, not getting upset over small things, simple things, things that might be described as a storm in a teacup. You see? So everything I've said today is sort of linking together as if by magic. I think so. Why aren't you wearing your tie? I'm not wearing my shirt today or my tie because it's too hot. The studio is like an oven. I think I could actually cook some food in the studio without using the stove. It is so hot in here. I'm surrounded by hot lights shining on my face. So that's the reason why. People who are patient, when they get angry, they are very scary. You are right. Yes, that is true. So a person who is often calm, passive, maybe they are a kind person, maybe they are always patient. Even they have a moment where they might become angry about something. So yes, it is possible to be patient, calm, but you can still lose your patience. You can still lose your patience. You might become angry. You might become argumentative. You might start fighting with someone. Or maybe you just shout and swear. I think so. Mark Morton. Oh, hello, Mark Morton. Thank you very much for joining me. I kind of think it's more about another word called temperance. Mind over matter. Yes, temperance. Well, that is actually having control over your emotions. So this is something that's become very trendy, very fashionable, is mindfulness. And when we talk about mindfulness, we are talking about having control over not only our thoughts, but also our emotions at the same time. So yes, I agree with you. I think sometimes, I think it is possible to learn to control your emotions. I think you can. Some people say, no, you can't. If you are born angry and impatient, you will always be like that. But I actually disagree. I think it is possible to adapt or to change the way you think or feel about things. So I think it is possible to actually change your mind about things. Maybe something that you misunderstand. People get angry. Have you noticed at the moment? People get very angry about all sorts of things. Sometimes you have to take a step back and look around you and try to stay calm. Patience is a virtue. That's what they say. Don't you have any air conditioner in your studio? No, I don't. Not many people have air conditioning in their houses. And the reason why they don't is because we live in England. And in England, quite often, the weather isn't good. During the summer, yes, of course, we have nice days, we have nice weather. But to be honest with you, for most of the year, the country is cool. So really, we don't need air conditioning to keep us cool, unless, of course, you work in an office. So maybe you work in an office space with lots of people around you. Then you do need air conditioning. So yes, I agree with that. Hello, Diana Romano. Actually, my English has improved a lot over the past few months, as I have a lot of free time to follow Mr. Duncan. Hello, Diana. Nice to see you here again. I think one of the things about the current situation, and don't forget, many people are still affected by this, quite seriously as well in some countries. So this is not over. Even here in the UK, there are still many people who are suffering, many people who are dying. So it is not over. It is not over yet. We still have a long way to go. Even here in the UK, we still have a very long way to go before everything gets completely normal. Would you like to see some strange words? We have some unusual words. But first of all, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to tell you the story of Rex's erection. Maybe you've heard this story before, but sometimes in life, being patient can be a good thing, even if the thing you are trying to create turns out to be a complete failure. Consider the story of a man who thought big with a plan to be remembered forever. His name was Rex Humbard, a TV preacher who lived in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. His big dream was to construct a huge tower that had a revolving restaurant at the top, thus giving the diners a panoramic view whilst eating. Construction of the huge tower began in the early 1970s. However, the big dream of Rex Humbard never came to fruition. After running out of funds for the mammoth project, the partially constructed concrete tower stood abandoned for 15 years. Large metal beams at the top were removed and the tower fell into rack and ruin. The locals jokingly nicknamed the tower Rex's Erection. However, years later, the tower was purchased by a telecommunications company, and the tower was put to good use by mounting transmitters and cell phone antennas on the tall tower itself. So even though Rex never got his big dream, the thing he failed to achieve did eventually come in useful for something. So I think there is a meaning in that story. Even if something seems to be a failure, maybe it has some use. Maybe not immediately, but perhaps in the future it will be something that will be very useful indeed. Thank you very much for clicking on me today. For those who are wondering what is going on, what the hell is this I'm watching on my mobile device, or maybe my PC, or perhaps my television set. Oh, for those who are watching on their television at the moment, what do you think about my big face on your screen? Is it okay? I hope I hope it's not too scary. Thank you for joining me today, and we have a lot of things still to look at. We are now going to take a look at some strange words. The live chat, by the way, is very busy today. A lot of people are talking to each other on the live chat, which I always think is fantastic. One of the reasons why I love doing this is not because I like to show my face on camera, but it is all about bringing everyone together. We all have something in common, and that is our love of the English language. I would definitely describe myself as an English addict, and I'm not sure if you will or would, but I am anyway, and I hope you are enjoying today's live stream. You can catch me Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. UK time. And if you haven't already done so, can you also give me a like? Please like this video, and also if you like what you see, you can also subscribe as well. Thank you very much. I do appreciate everything that you do. Hello, Deroraj. Hello to you. 1Q, 1Q. 1Q, 1Q to you as well. Hello, sir. I am from India. Narasima. Hello, Narasima. Nice to see you here. I hope you are staying cool today. I think the inside of my studio might be as hot as India at the moment. I think so. Hello, sir. I am from India. Thank you to Narashima again. Hello, Mindfully Flourish. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Thank you so much. Mindfully Flourish. When we talk about being mindful, I suppose it's about considering your feelings, your emotions, your state of mind. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you think? And what is the last thing you think before you go to sleep? So these things can have a big effect on your life, the way you deal with other people, the way you socialise, your attitude towards other people in society. All of these things come from up here. Sometimes controlling this can help you a lot. And the opposite, of course, is losing control of your thoughts and feelings. They can have a negative effect. I think so. Hello, Tasia Bugma. Hi, sir. I am from Burkina Faso. Hello, Burkina Faso. You might be the first person ever on the live chat from Burkina Faso. I've heard of the country, but you might be the first person here from that particular place. So I will give you a round of applause. How about that? Did you imagine this morning when you woke up, did you imagine that there would be an Englishman sending you a round of applause on the internet? I bet you didn't. I think so. Have you been to Morocco? I've never been to Morocco. I've always wanted to go there. I have fascinations for certain parts of the world. Morocco is one of those places that I have a fascination for. Hello also to... Oh, Belarusia. You are such a good teacher, Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much for teaching us. I try my best. I am just another human being. 7.5 billion people now on the planet? Is it? Is it 7.5 billion? That's a lot of people. And I am just one of them. That's all I am. Just trying to make my way in the world like everyone else. Hello, Narasima says, I like the way you communicate. Thank you very much. You are very welcome. Sergio is here. Sergio, we were talking about you the other day. We were saying how sarcastic you can be sometimes. Sergio. I think so. I think Sergio sometimes can be very sarcastic. Let's have a look at some strange words. Would you like to have a look at some very weird words? Okay, we will do that right now on the live stream because that's the reason why I am here now. Some strange English words. We always do this on Friday, and that's what we're doing right now. There are many odd, many unusual, many strange words. Strange words. There are many strange words in the English language, and today we are going to take a look at some of those words. Some of them you might know, some of them you might not. It might be the first time for you looking at the words. So we will see what happens, shall we? Here is the first word. Today's first strange English word is... that is a strange word. Not many letters, but it is a strange word. Squirm. You pronounce this word squirm. Nice. Squirm means that you move. You move about. Maybe if you are sitting in a chair and maybe you can't get comfortable, or maybe you feel uncomfortable, you might keep squirming. You might squirm. Wriggle. That's a great word. Wriggle. Squirm. Wriggle. You are moving. Quite often to get yourself more comfortable, or maybe to escape from something that is horrible. Perhaps you see a spider in your bathroom and you squirm. You try to avoid the spider. Oh my goodness, there is a spider in my bathroom. I think I have to squirm to get away from it. Maybe something that you find unpleasant. Perhaps something you find unpleasant. Something that you don't like. It might make you squirm. So normally this is used in a negative way. Perhaps your next door neighbour keeps watching you when you're in your garden. He's watching you all the time. You might tell your friend, oh, my neighbour, whenever I see him, he always makes me squirm. Something you don't like, something you feel repulsed by might make you squirm. I hope I don't make you squirm. I really do. Hello to Marietta. Hello, Marietta. Nice to see you as well. Squirm always makes me think of worm. Well, it's interesting that you should say that. The word squirm is really describing the action of a worm. It wriggles. I suppose you could also say a snake as well. Maybe a snake squirms. It is the movement that it makes as it moves along. So yes, I think that's a very good thing. Yes, I think that's pretty good actually. That is a very good observation. I think so. Squirm, an unusual, strange word. Someone who is bombastic. Bombastic. An arrogant person. A person who always shows off. They are always the loudest person in the room. Bombastic. It's interesting, isn't it? It sounds like something that might be annoying. Bombastic. You might describe a person who is arrogant. They are always talking about themselves. They like to show off. They are always the loudest person in the room. And we've all met someone like that. I know I have. Maybe I've been on an aeroplane and I'm trying to get some sleep, and then in the seat behind me, maybe there is someone talking and they won't shut up. They are being very bombastic. Bombastic. It almost sounds like a swear word. It isn't. So this is not a rude word. However, it does describe a person who is arrogant, a person who is stuck up, a person who... Oh, I see, there was a song like that. Oh, I see, yes, there was Mr. Lover Lover. Is that the one?
Mr. Lover Lover, ooh, Mr. Lover Lover, you call me fantastic, Mr. Bombastic.
Is that the one? Is that the one you're thinking of? Maybe. Oh dear. Narasima asks, what is the current status in the UK? I don't know what you mean by that. The current status. The status of what? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Maybe you mean... Well, things are not getting better. They are slowly easing, but there are still people affected by that thing. Yes, bombastic. I like that word. That is today's word, bombastic. A person who likes to show off. They are often arrogant. Here's another one. Oh, sporadic. Oh, yes, I like this word. Something that is sporadic. Sporadic. Now, an interesting thing. Earlier, I was talking about lightning. So when you get lightning in the sky, you might say that lightning is sporadic. So you can't work out when it will happen. It is random, sporadic. So it isn't always happening, and you can't work out when it will happen. It is sporadic. So this morning when I was standing in my garden as the rain was falling and the thunder was rumbling above my head and the lightning was flashing across the sky, I didn't know when it was going to happen. I had to just wait, because thunder and lightning is sporadic. You don't know when it is going to happen. It is random. Random. Where do you live now? Oh, I see. Well, now I'm in England. So this is live from England. What you are watching now is a live stream. England is where I am, broadcasting from England, in a place called Much Wenlock, a lovely little village, a small town. So I hope that answers your question. Yes. Sporadic. Yes, something rare. Something that is not often seen. Sporadic. So yes, something that's random. You can't guess when it's going to happen. A little bit like my idiom this morning. You remember earlier? My lightning in a bottle. To keep lightning in a bottle is impossible, because lightning is random. It is sporadic. It doesn't happen all the time, thank goodness. The sporadic love. Oh, I see. I don't know what you mean by that, Andy. Maybe you are talking about your experience, perhaps. Sporadic. Sporadic. You can talk about sporadic diseases, yes. Maybe a disease that occurs in a certain place, suddenly, without warning. Or maybe a rare disease, something that does not occur everywhere. Sporadic. Anna Rita says your live streams are not sporadic. No, they are not. They are planned. So the opposite, I suppose, is planned, something that you know will happen. So my live streams normally are not sporadic. They are planned. You know when they are going to happen. Hello to Jade. Hello, Jade. Thank you very much. It's very nice to see you here today. So there is another word. Let's move on. Oh, this is an interesting word. It looks like him, but it isn't. In fact, this particular word is pronounced whim. Whim. You do something on a whim. Whim. You don't plan to do it. You do it on a whim. Impulse. You do it spontaneously. You do it on a whim. Whim. It's a great word, by the way. Some people say whim. Others say whim. Whim. So it's almost as if they are blowing the air from their mouth as they say the word whim. You do something on a whim. You do it without making any plans. You do it spontaneously. You do it on impulse. Whim. You go out to do some shopping. You do it on a whim. You do it as an impulse. You don't plan to do it. You just do it. You have a whim. You do it on a whim. Nice. Alessandro is here. Hello, Alessandro. Nice to see you here on Friday afternoon. It is Friday here in the UK. You will do something on a whim. Whim. It's an unusual word, but it is used quite often. You might be surprised to find out that that particular word is used a lot, actually. Quite a lot. Here's another one. Oh, very similar to the last one. And this one also can be pronounced in more than one way. Some people say wet. Others will say whet. Whet. Something will whet. It will entice you. It will create an arousal of hunger. Maybe you want to do something more because you have smelled something. Perhaps there is a cake baking in the oven. You can say, oh, the smell of that cake baking in the oven. It has whetted my appetite. It will whet your appetite. It is enticing you. It is bringing that feeling to your mind. It is seducing you. You want to have that cake because the smell, the aroma of it baking in the oven, it will whet your appetite. It is making you feel hungry. It is bringing about that feeling. Whet. Interesting. Hello, Nidas. Nidas Vlog. Nice to see you here as well. Very lovely. Tayyeb. Hello, Tayyeb as well. Thank you very much for seeing me today. I'm so glad that you can see me waving to you right now on the internet. Isn't it lovely? As I said at the start of today's live stream, I love technology so much. I love YouTube. I wish I could marry YouTube. Unfortunately, at this moment, no one has legally recognised the marriage between someone who appears on YouTube and YouTube itself. So at the moment, unfortunately, you can't actually get married to YouTube. Yes, you can whet a knife, sharpen. That's very good. Thank you very much, Marilda. And also, thanks also to Connell for your suggestion here. Yes, you whet a knife. You sharpen something. You make it sharp. You are bringing about that intense feeling. Whet. Something will whet your appetite. Ooh, it's making me feel hungry now. All this talk of food, everyone talking about food, it is making me feel hungry. You have whetted my appetite. Yes, desire, to bring about the feeling of desire, need, want, the feeling of wanting something. Ooh, nice. Hello, Marietta. Hello also, Ninja. Hello, Ninja. I like your name, by the way. Are you a real ninja or are you just part-time? There are part-time ninjas. So some ninjas only do it part-time. Maybe they work in an office, or maybe they work in a shoe shop during the day. But at night, they are a professional ninja. Yeah, so you never know. You never know that the next time you are in a shop being served by that nice gentleman, he might actually be a part-time ninja. Yes, you never know. You never know. Here's another word, an unusual word that we use in English. You may have heard of this before. This is actually a type of weapon as well, a jackknife. It is often used in hunting. But if there is an accident, a certain type of accident that can occur on the road, especially with long, heavy vehicles, because you will notice with certain types of lorries or trucks, the front and the back are independent. They move independently. And sometimes, if the conditions are wet or icy, a lorry or truck can jackknife. It means the front and the back of the truck, they become independent. You lose control of the vehicle. So maybe the back of the truck is pointing one way, and maybe your cabin, the place where you are driving, is pointing the other way. You lose control of the vehicle. We can say that the lorry has jackknifed. You can always look this up. You can always look this particular word up on the internet. Jackknife. It is an incident where a lorry or the person driving the lorry, they lose control, normally on wet or maybe icy surfaces. You lose control of a lorry or truck. Jackknife. Anna. I like your idea, Anna. Yes, very often conversations end up talking about food. It is true. We were sitting in the garden last night. It was a beautiful evening last night. One of our friends came over. We haven't seen them for a while. And we were eating Chinese food in the garden and having a lovely conversation. And it was so nice. However, we did keep our distance. So that's good as well. But it is true, we were talking about food. We were actually talking about food whilst we were eating food. I think that's a great time to talk about food. When you are eating food, I think it is good to also talk about food at the same time. I think so. Thanks for your company today. I will be going soon. We are going to look at some more words. Here is another one. Ah, this is interesting. Here is another word. If you go to see a show, or maybe if you go to listen to an orchestra, something that occurs at the beginning of a performance, you might describe it as the prelude, the thing that happens before the main event, the main performance, the main show, or maybe the main story. So you might have a prelude in a story or a book. Quite often it is called a prologue. So prologue is something that is written before the main story begins. And of course you can have this word as well, prelude. There it is, prelude. So when we say prelude, we mean the thing that occurs before the main event. So you might go to see a show where people are performing on stage in a play. And maybe there is music as well. At the start of the play, they will often play a piece of music. That is the prelude, or if you are listening to music before the show begins, you can also call it the overture. Overture. So there are many other ways of expressing this word. Prelude. Before the main event begins. Something that happens before the main event begins. The prelude of a symphony. Yes, you are right. So before the music begins, maybe you will have a short prelude or an overture. Maybe as people are arriving and sitting down, there might be some music playing. The prelude, the thing that comes before the show. If you are reading a book, you might see a prologue or maybe just an introduction. An introduction, maybe. Sunshine, yes. Oh, Sunshine has said introduction as well. That's it. That's right, yes. Andy says a jackknife truck. One part moves around towards the other part and it cannot be driven. That's it. You lose control of the truck. It's quite interesting that most trucks have independent movement in the front and also the main container. We also call this an articulated vehicle. Articulated. It has free movement. It is articulated. You might spin out of control on a roundabout, says Jade. Yes, you might. You are right there. Hello, Yasir. Hello also, Marietta. The prelude to a nice friendship. Ah, that's a good one, yes. So the beginning, the things that occur before your friendship flourishes or begins. The prelude, the beginning. Something that happens before or whilst a thing is beginning. I think so, yes. That's good. Thank you, Sunshine, for that. Hello to Korea. Hi, Korea. Nice to see you here as well. I was listening to some BTS yesterday. I was going through some of my Twitter posts and I saw there were some videos on there about BTS. So I decided to watch a bit of that. They are very good dancers, by the way. I will say that. They are very good dancers. Another word before I go. I will be going soon. In fact, we have one more word. And the word is beep, 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 beep. Embellish. Oh, I like this one. Embellish. Embellish. Maybe if you tell a story about something you've done in the past, perhaps you will add things to the story to make it seem more dramatic. You might change the story to make it more enjoyable or to give it more impact. So if you decorate something, if you make something look bright and fanciful, something interesting, something that is attractive to look at, or maybe a story that is intriguing and interesting, you might embellish that thing. Embellish. It is a lovely word. Maybe you go fishing and you spend all morning sitting by the river. Unfortunately, you don't catch any fish. But when you go home, you will tell your wife about the amazing fish that you caught. I had to struggle to bring the fish to land. I had to struggle. I had to fight with the fish. It was huge. It was a really big fish. I had to wind the fish in. I had to bring the fish in. And it was this big. It was huge. It was such a big fish. What I am doing is embellishing the story. I am making the story seem better than the reality. quite often we embellish our stories. We try to make them more interesting or more exciting than they really are. Maybe if you watch TV, you might watch reality television. Sometimes you might find that reality TV is embellished. People will pretend to have these situations. They will pretend they are not real. They embellish what is happening in that show because they want you to keep watching. They want you to stay in front of the television watching that program. So you will watch the advertisements. You see? So many reality TV shows will actually create or exaggerate the situations to make them more interesting for the viewer. It is true. Please visit my website during your free time, says Mindfully Flourish. Well, I have a friend, by the way. I have a friend who runs a company, and he actually does meditation courses. He takes his students all around the world. So he goes to all of these far-off places. He actually went to Nepal a few years ago, and he did a retreat there, high up on a mountain. And I know that because he took my camera with him. So the camera, this camera that you are looking through now, this camera has actually been to the top of some of the highest mountains in the world. So the camera has been in some very interesting places. So that is the camera that you are looking through at the moment. That actual camera has been all the way to the top of some of the highest mountains in the world. Jade, yes, you can embellish your CV, your curriculum vitae, which is, of course, a list of things that you've done in your career. So when you go along to a new employer, you want to show them the things you've done. But sometimes we embellish our CV. We make it appear as if we've done many more things than we really have. You are right. Maria is going. Mark Morton says, please don't stop. You are awesome. Well, I'm not going to stop. I'm not stopping, but I will be going soon because I have been here for around 1 hour and 46 minutes. So I have been here for a long time. And it is very hot here in the studio. Although this morning, shall we have another look outside this morning? It was quite dramatic. We had some very dramatic weather this morning outside. Take a look at this. This is what was happening in my garden this morning. It was quite dramatic. We had a huge downpour of rain, but also we had some thunder and lightning as well. Some ferocious storms hit the UK this morning. And there is my back garden as the rain falls. So all across the UK this morning we woke up to horrendous thunderstorms, the rumbling of thunder and the flash of lightning. I think my back garden looks like it's in a tropical country. It does. It looks like I'm in Malaysia. Or maybe Borneo. But I'm not. I'm in Much Wenlock, in England. So that's what's been going on here with our weather. It's been rather dramatic, to say the least. So dramatic. I can't believe it. We are almost at the end of today's live stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed everything you've seen. Don't forget, you can watch this again. If you have missed this, any part of this, you can watch it again. It will be available later on YouTube. Rose says, I am in love with the rain. A lot of people like the rain. Some people like being in the rain. I am not one of those people. I don't like being outside. I don't like getting wet in the rain. I hate it, to be honest. However, I do like being in the house, looking out of the window at the rain. That's okay. I don't mind that. That's all right. But sometimes it does rain. Sometimes it pours with rain. So if the rain is coming down very heavily and very fast, we can say it is pouring with rain. Thank you very much, Mindfully Flourish. That's okay. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. Nidas, thank you very much as well for joining me today. Apparently Beatrice says, where I am, it hasn't rained for 3 months. To be honest with you, many parts of the world this year have been experiencing very dry periods of time, including here in the UK, by the way, also here in the UK. Karim says, I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you did. And I'm very pleased to hear that you have enjoyed it. Don't forget, I'm going to show you again. Please give me a like and subscribe. If you like what you see, give me a thumb and also a subscribe as well. There it is. There is my happy thumb. Can you please give me a like? That would be very nice. Thank you very much for that. Marilda says, hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, Marilda. I will be going soon. I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. And I hope that it hasn't sent you completely cuckoo. I really hope you are still okay. Join me again on Sunday. Don't forget, Sunday I am with you from 2 p.m. UK time. And of course on Sunday we have the added bonus. There is a bonus, something extra on Sunday, because we have Mr. Steve here as well. So Mr. Steve will also be joining us on Sunday. I hope you can make it. That is it. That is all I have time for. Thank you, Marietta. Thank you, Andy. Apparently it was raining in Moscow yesterday. I was watching the big parade, by the way, in Russia. The big parade with all of the missiles and the soldiers and President Putin. He didn't look very happy, though. He didn't look very happy. He had all of those wonderful weapons and all of those big missiles and all of those soldiers. But he didn't look very happy. He looked a bit gloomy, I thought. Nassim says, Mr. Duncan, you're amazing. Thank you very much. Will we have a little dance today? Not today, because I am very hot and exhausted here in the studio. I can't begin to tell you how hot it is in here. It is really hot. It is like teaching inside an oven. That's how hot it is. Thank you very much, Giovanni. When I ride my bicycle in the rain, I sing. Oh, I see. Well, some people do enjoy walking in the rain, singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I hope you are feeling happy today. See you later. See you on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, until the next time we meet here on YouTube, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. Give me a like and click subscribe. And of course, until the next time, we are all here together again. Stay safe, stay happy, keep that smile on your face. No matter what happens, stay patient. And of course, ta-ta for now.